Hello world, welcome to WFHR's Rapids Report, proudly brought to you by Crockett Septic for this July 30th, 2025. Have your host James here. We're joined right now by Officer Matt McHugh from the Wisconsin Rapids Police Department. We're going to talk about National Night Out coming up on the 6th of August over at beautiful Witter Field. Matt, one of the more important questions I'm going to ask you, did I get your last name right?
Yeah, you did, James.
Okay,
it's
all right.
McHugh. Yeah,
all right.
Good.
We can mark that down, Pam. Matt, good to meet you, man. Thanks so much for being in. We appreciate the time, as always, and any chance to talk about an event like this one, we're looking forward to. Let's get into the details of 2025 National Night Out. This is a police and community partnership event that we're really looking forward to, and it's going over at one of our favorite spots, Witter Field.
Absolutely. We look forward to this event every year. Last year was the first year we had this at Witter Field, and it's great because it allows for more space for us to have vendors and community partners come in. It's a great event for all ages, and it really supports community police partnerships. It shows that we're approachable in the community, and that's exactly the kind of image we want to portray too. But not just the police department, the fire department, EMS, and then local businesses giving back as well. So it's a pretty great event, and we look forward to it every single year.
I know one of the things that is fun for these events, and we just had this with the Family Center and our Touch a Truck event, is the kids being able to see these vehicles and kind of look at them and check them out and stuff. So they'll be able to do a little of that.
Absolutely. A lot of people really don't know what the inside of a squad car looks like, and that gives everyone a great opportunity to do that. All ages are welcome too, adults as well too. It's just a great informational session to show people around and show what our equipment actually looks like on the inside, and we're always happy to show anybody that has any questions.
We're going to have some fun activities down there too for everybody.
Absolutely. We have balloon animals. We're going to have face painting this year. A lot of fun activities.
Yeah. Oh, those are always great. And the people that you run those are great as well, and they're very good at what they do. We know because they're at every event. We always try to get them into these. They're great people. That's going to be fun. That part is great. And again, the space to do this too at Witter Field. That's fantastic. There's going to be ballpark food as well. One of the greatest things about baseball, about going to a baseball field, is the food, and we're going to make sure that that's there for everyone.
Absolutely. Nothing beats that classic smell of brats or hot dogs or going to Miller Park. It's like the same atmosphere. You gotta love it. And attending this event, you'll receive a free ticket to the Raptors game right afterwards. That's a really cool part of this, I think. Yeah, Gamber Johnson is a big sponsor of this event, and they are extremely nice enough to provide those tickets prior to the game. It's a 6:35 p.m. first pitch against Fond du Lac.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, who we've been playing well this season, so that's going to be a good game. And I know that we're the home of the Raptor baseball here at WFHR and stuff, and we know that the season hasn't been as great as we may have wanted it. That's why every game matters, and we get a win. That's going to be great. It's going to be a good, fun time, and take in all these games that we can as the summer's wrapping up. With an event like this, National Night Out, we've talked about it for many years here on the Rapids Report, and a shout out to everybody that we've talked to in the past and enjoyed this conversation. One of the things that I think that I enjoy about this topic is us having just a open opportunity to talk about what this is. There are plenty of times in life where especially growing up, there were different events that had really good meanings behind them. But I feel like there was the event itself, but this meaning was kind of like almost a hidden meaning or something along those lines. This is really out in the open and very honest about what this event is really. The meaning behind this event is, Matt. It's really about building that bridge, making that bridge stronger between community and law enforcement, or EMTs or our firefighters or any of the above. The more we can do that, and the more it is that much more normal for a kid to see this, and they're much more likely to talk to and reach out to when they need help.
And that's exactly what we want to portray too. As I mentioned earlier, we want to be approachable in the community. We want to be partners with the community. Kind of going off on a tangent on this, working patrol, we will see people having lemonade stands, little kids and lemonade stands. I try to stop out every single opportunity I have to do something like that, just because, we want to make sure that people can come to us and ask for help. And when we open up that dialogue and that conversation with people and explain just, hey, we're people too, right? We're just working in the community to make it a better place. That's very important. And building those bridges, like you said, is always a very important goal for us. And whether that's community partners, residents of Wisconsin Rapids and the surrounding area, we want to make sure that we do that every single time.
With these different businesses, we're talking about businesses, the police department, sheriff department, fire department, EMTs. You touched on something really important there, I think, where so many kids grow up and they don't have experiences with these and don't know them and everything. And when you don't know something, you're a little afraid. That's just human instinct. That's just the way it works. So building that bridge for them, those individuals, is wonderful. Among other things, you just don't know the spark it might start too. Where I'm a little kid, and before all of this, I wanted to be a firefighter. We had a field trip at the Chicago Fire Department, and I fell in love, man. I wanted to do this. This was the coolest job in the world to me. You don't know what sparks could start there for a child, and every one of these great businesses and groups really deserve that. They need more and more good people in there and stuff. So that's a great win-win right there. There's the other side too of this, of individuals that have experiences with these different groups, these different things, for maybe not the greatest reasons. I know that I've touched on this before in my family and our past, and we're all on the right side of the tracks now and everything, but it didn't start out that way. And when I was a little kid, having some negative experiences got me as a teenager and as an adult to be a little hesitant to reach out when my family or I needed help. And that has changed and grown since then, of course, and everything. And I've talked with Sheriff Becker about this a lot over the years. But that's something that it took me being away from here and coming back to really understand some of those things. It took me having kids to understand those things. We don't want it to take that. We want to build those bridges right now. And there is no getting around that our society is better and stronger when our kids feel safer. There's just no getting around that. And I think the job of all adults, whether you're in law enforcement or not, is to make that happen, is to make that, whether you have kids or not, whether your kids are like mine and in their 20s and all that and don't even need you anymore or anything, that's a good thing to do. This event really helps make that happen. This event is a really big part of that.
And I agree with you. Like you said earlier, you don't know what that spark could be. Mm-hmm. It could just be that going up to somebody and saying, "Hey, how you doing?" I always introduce myself by first name. When I'm working, I'm not Officer McHugh. I'm Matt from the police department. And that really lightens the mood and dialogue when we talk to people. And really what it comes down to is a lot of people just need someone to listen to them. And that's extremely important. And whether it's at an event like this or just in everyday patrol work like I do, it's important to listen to people and show that empathy no matter what situation they're going through, because you truly don't know what kind of day somebody's having. And it's very important to have that relationship with somebody.
It's something we ask of the individuals in these groups that we're talking about here. And I hope that the community, I hope the audience out there takes it on themselves as well to do the same for them. And understand that they are human beings, that they are doing a job, and you don't know what they had go on their day and what they have going on. Everybody's trying to work for the same thing, trying to solve whatever is happening right here and trying to make our community safer. There is no downside to that. There are no bad sides. This is only a positive, and it can only become stronger with the more and more people that attend. So we want to make sure that you make plans to be there Wednesday, August 6th, 3 to 6 over at Whitterfield. Head on over there and take in some of these cool vehicles that are around there. If you have questions, feel free to ask them. You'll be able to talk to officers and people in the departments straight up right there. You're going to get some good food, so bring your appetite. Make sure to do that. And bring the kids. We want the kids coming down. We want whole families down. You certainly are welcome to come down individually and all that and bring your friends or what have you, but it's a real family event. And one other thing that I love about this event too, and I get to touch on this from time to time lately, we are having less and less opportunities for strangers and strangers standing next to each other and having a good time. Whether it's going to the movies or taking in a ball game or something like that. We don't have enough of these opportunities in life, and so many of the bonds and friendships are created that way, of just running into somebody and like, "Hey, I like that shirt. You root for that team too?" And you get to know each other, and all of a sudden, and that also strengthens our community and makes it safer. These things, I think a lot of the time, coming back to this, the hesitancy or the fear of things, it just comes from not knowing. Mm-hmm. Best way to know is to do it.
Yep.
Yeah, do it. Come on down, have a good time, and have some fun with this. I wanted to wrap up here, and I didn't necessarily talk about this in our pregame, Matt, but I couldn't help myself when we're talking here and everything. You yourself are somebody that spark happened for. You didn't necessarily start out with law enforcement in mind. It was something that came to you later. Without prying too much or anything like that, how did that spark happen for you?
So just a little bit of background. I'm from Wisconsin Rapids. Wisconsin Rapids, born and raised for pretty much the first half of my life. And I actually grew up in Plover during adolescence, but my family's always been in Rapids. Talking about those good community relationships, especially with not knowing. I recall one time way back in the early 2000s, I was playing out in my yard in Rapids here, and a couple of Rapids police officers stopped by, and that was back when they would hand out baseball cards or Packer cards. And just that interaction with them, it sat with me to this day. I can remember it vividly. That was something that was big for me to say, hey, I can trust these people. They're approachable. And from there on out, I remembered that. Getting into law enforcement, I didn't want to be a police officer my entire life. I actually wanted to go into radio and broadcasting, which is interesting why we're sitting here today.
The symmetry of that,
Right. And I did a ride along when I was 16 years old, just starting off in high school, actually with a state trooper. And just given my skill set and knowing what I was good at and my communication with people, I thought that could translate really well into the career field. And that's how I decided to stick with law enforcement and dedicate my career to that.
I appreciate you sharing that, man. Thank you. One, you really note some things that lead to this happening and really giving evidence to a lot of what we're talking about here today. But as a side note, I also just think it's really cool to hear that. I imagine that doing the job itself is very rewarding, feels very good. Doing it in your hometown, that's a whole other level. To do something like that. It's I can't think of many more higher callings than that, and that is pretty darn cool, man. And we appreciate that. Appreciate you being a part of things, and we are definitely going to work those radio skills of yours. We're going to find uses for them, definitely. But thank you for joining us again, Matt. I appreciate the time. One more time, let's remind everybody the date and time for the National Night Out.
So it's going to be Wednesday, August 6th from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Whitterfield, Wisconsin Rapids here. Bring the kids, bring the family. It is a welcoming family event. It's going to really showcase how we have a strong community and partnerships with everybody around Wisconsin Rapids. So we look forward to seeing you there and appreciate you to have me on the show, James. Thank you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you. And encourage you to go ahead and go to the Facebook, type in there National Night Out Wisconsin Rapids. You'll be able to keep up to date on everything, and it gives you a nice reminder about it. Also, we'll keep you letting them know how many people might be attending and some of that. Share it on your Facebook pages as well. That way other people might see it. You just never know who might. And be sure to spread the word about the Rapids Report being brought to you by Crockett Septic here at WFHR.com.